Hi everyone, it's Terry here from nutsaboutsstamping.com. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful and quite easy Christmas card idea with the help of the Christmas Gleaming stamp set. I am not, however, going to use the corresponding punches. My card base is Whisper White. I've cut it 8.5 by 5.5 and I've scored it on the 4 1/4 mark. And the first thing I'm going to do is take these little sort of this splatter stamp from the Christmas Gleaming stamp set. I'm going to ink it carefully using my Tuxedo black ink, and I'm just going to lightly splatter this image across the front of my card. I can always go back later and add more, so it's better to err on less rather than more in this case. I'm going to set this aside for a bit, and then I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I've got the phrase that says, "Deck the halls with boughs of holly." I'm going to ink it with the black ink, stamp it in the center of this piece of cardstock, and then I'm going to bring in my Big Shot and I'm going to die cut this phrase out using one of the Stitched Shapes framelits. I'll show you what it's going to look like in just a second. And that's all I'm going to use my Big Shot for. And there we go, my phrase is ready to go. Now, the next thing you want to do is bring in a lot of pieces of scrap Whisper White cardstock. And I have the holly stamp, and I'm going to ink it up. And I'm going to stamp it down, and basically you want 8 of these stamped holly images, and then the next step you're going to do is you're going to color them all. So I'll be back in a moment and I'll show you what I've done. All right, I'm back, and I have colored 3 complete stamped holly images using my Stampin' Blends. I love these for coloring. I chose, this is Poppy Parade, and this one is Granny Apple Green. So I did both the dark and the light. I colored, let me bring in my stamped one. So I colored 3 of these, and then I took my paper snips and I fussy cut them out. And then for the remaining ones, what I did was I did not color the berries. I only colored the leaves, and then I fussy cut them as well, but I cut them out as separate leaves. So as I've said, you want 8 of these. You want 3 complete, and then you want 5 that you can fussy cut and cut away from the berries. All right. So now that we've got that set up, let me sweep these aside, bring in my card base, and I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to start with 2 of the larger Stampin' Dimensionals, and what I want to do is I want to position my phrase in the center, to the best of my ability, of my card. Then I want to take one of these completed full hollies, and I'm going to add that like that. And then I'm going to take my second one. I should mention to you that I actually got this idea from another demonstrator. We have some art galleries online, and we have a private Facebook page just for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators where we can share with each other all of our creations. Okay, so I'm going to tuck that in like that. Okay, you see what's happening here? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the leaves from this image and I'm going to start to position them around but underneath the phrase that I have added to the center of the card. So let me just show you in a second here, here, let me show you what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere these. You can see that it's going to take a little bit of manipulating, but basically what I'm going to do is add these leaves all around the outside of the phrase to create a wreath. So rather than have you sit there and watch me manipulate and maneuver, what I'll do is I'll stop the video now, I'll come back in a minute and I'll show you the finished card with, well, almost finished card with the leaves around. I'll be back in a minute. And there we go. My card is almost finished, and isn't it pretty? I absolutely love it. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of these snowflake sequins. And this is where my card takes a little bit of a different turn from the demonstrator that shared her idea with all of us. She used a different phrase in the center, and I thought this one was perfect because of all the holly. And she also did not add these snowflake sequins. So the reason I'm telling you all about this is that I hope you'll take my ideas that I post each week on my YouTube channel, and I hope that you'll look at what I've created and you'll maybe use it as your starting point, but then add your own special touch. So I love these sequins. So how I'm going to attach them to the front of my card is with my fine tip glue pen. So I'll go ahead and I'll complete my card, and then I will share a final photo of it over on my blog, which is www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. While you're on my blog, you'll see a shopping cart. If you click on that, it'll take you over to my online store so that you can purchase the products used to make this card. And I also have a link to subscribe to my free newsletters. I send a newsletter each week with product and project ideas that you won't see anywhere else. I'm Terry. I am Nuts About Stamping. I hope you'll create something beautiful today too. Bye for now.